But Bradley Chubb that's who the Cowboys see. The Cowboys know this. You can't let Howie be making moves here and them not do anything. Let's be candid here. Welcome back. National Football Show. It's your boy Big Sills. Please hit the like button. By the way, Robert Quinn, a Philadelphia Eagle, we are very proud to have hit that trade on how we opened up the show here today. Once again, we'll reset everything here. We'll reset everything here in a second here. I mean, it's been really a lot of news. Guys, I'm going to tell you flat out here. The Cowboys are trying to get Roquan. It seems to me, though, that Carolina is not going to move. They're not going to move unless they get a ton of picks for Brian Burns. It just doesn't seem. Steven says the Cowboys are very active right now. I think they're trying to get a safety too. They don't need any help. Hunt's not going to be in the mix. Roquan Smith, Burns, and I'll tell you what too, something else to keep an eye on. The Cowboys might get Chubb from Denver. So, would you rather have Chubb or Quinn? I'd rather have Chubb. Chubb's a better player today, I think, in their careers. Underperforming, though, this year is that whole entire Bronco defense is achieved. But, and by the way, Robert Quinn's a fine ball player. This guy can make an impact. I think how about this? So you know, I think he is going to make an impact. But Bradley Chubb that's who the Cowboys see. The Cowboys know this. You can't let Howie be making moves here and them not do anything. Let's be candid here. The Cowboy offense needs help. Their defense not so much necessarily needs the help, but they're winning ball games defensively. If I'm the Cowboys, Claypool makes sense to get on the other side of CeeDee Lamb. Hey, look, Tony Pollard is a good back. Zeke's not. I would try to get another wide receiver if I'm Dallas. See, this is a chess game that you guys have to keep playing here with one another. Hey, by the way, guess who now has become part of the conversation and the party here on keeping up with the Joneses? The Giants. Giants may get into a conversation where, get this, and I'm not saying they'll get a running back, but do they add Brian Burns to the mix? Do they add Roquan Smith? You add Roquan Smith to that Giant defense, you're talking about a massive upgrade for the Giants, who that defense is playing really well right now. Okay? So, I mean, Cowboys need offense. The Giants need some components. By the way, you got to figure out how to help Daniel Jones move the sticks more too. I mean, it's Barkley, kind of Jones, but their wide receiving core got banged up in the offseason, and their offensive line, dude, you're not going to get a lot of people giving you old linemen going into the November 1st trading deadline. You're not going to get that. You're not going to see. And by the way, there's going to be very few teams out there that are going to go like this. Hey, let me give you an old lineman. So, like, watch this. You think the Houston Texans are going to give the Dallas Cowboys Jeremy Tunsil? Why? What would I make? It's AFC, but if I'm the Cowboys, don't you call Nick Caserio, the general manager of the Texans, and go, hey, you guys are going nowhere. You need draft choices. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a 1 for Jeremy Tunsil. You put Jeremy Tunsil on that old line, all of a sudden the Dallas Cowboys, Tunsil's not an old guy. He's a quality lineman. Calvin, and you know my relationship with Steven. So I talked to him a lot about this. He goes, what do you think? I go, I think you need O-line help. He goes, we played well. I go, yeah, but you need help for Dak. Dak needs protection. They need a wideout and lineman. You need to upgrade the Cowboy offense. And that's what they're doing. So when you're a guy, watch this. They're going to upgrade their offense, as is the Giants. The Giants aren't traders. They're buyers now. Shit, get this. Washington's not out of it now. NFC sucks so bad. There's a lot of teams that are not out of it now. You could be 2-5 and still in it. Leo, Steven won't spend money on Roquan. I don't think they have the money to. That's the only thing that protects the Cowboys from making gigantic moves, is that Zeke contract and the Dak contract. Man, they're wedged against the cap. Now, you could defer money out now because of the new collective bargaining agreement. But, Leo, you're right, because, in essence, where are you getting the money from? You don't have it. You're kind of like the Rams. Dude, the Eagles have made – let me ask you this. You think this Quinn move's a Super Bowl move? Dan, would you trade Sanders for Swift in Detroit all night long, but Detroit will never do that? Seals is a double agent advising the enemy. No. I get asked questions by everybody. How do you think I find out what the Eagles are doing? I find out what the Eagles are doing through the Cowboys. You think the Eagles are going to come on this program and tell me what they're doing? I'll just ask the Cowboys. They'll tell me. So you know. How did you think I knew that Howie had contacted the Bears for Roquan and for Robert Quinn? How did you think I knew that? What? Because why? How did you think I found out that the Eagles contacted the Carolina Panthers, first for Burns, then for Christian McCaffrey? Thank you, Gil. Big Seals is sensitive. Jeremiah, did we get Quinn? Day late and $1 short, brother, but welcome to the party. Steven, yes, Dak's contract is huge. Thank you, Gil. You think this is a Super Bowl move? Thank you, Chris. Dude, and Michael, always know this. That's why if you always look on my Twitter page, working on a deal, potential. You never see me say it's a for sure thing. Because trading, can I tell you what Howie Roseman's style is? Can I tell you that Kevin Colbert told me what Howie's style is? Can I show it to you? When he makes a call to a team, okay, who did he just, okay, he called the Bears. Now, I don't know the new GM. I got to figure another, when he called the Lions, Bob Quinn, the former general manager, was it Bob Quinn that sent Darius Slay to the Eagles? I know Bob Quinn. Here's Howie Roseman. Hey, Bob, how you doing, man? Every general manager in the business knows when Howie goes, hey, man, how you doing? Right? Hey, good, man. Everything's going good. Just trying to rebuild here, trying to get it done. Howie goes, yeah, man, we're trying to do it too here. Hey, it's curious. One of your guys, Darius Slay. Yeah. I know he's up for a contract, and I know you guys are looking for draft choices, and would you be thinking of move? Now, Bob had made it clear he was trying to move him. Okay? He goes, yeah, man, what do you got? I goes, I just want to see what you think. And Bob was like this. No, you tell me what you think. Yeah. What are you thinking? Because you never want to show your hand. When you're a general manager, you want the other guy because he's fishing for somebody. And Howie's a fisherman. This guy's old man in the sea. Howie's a fisherman. What are you looking at here? No. What's it worth to you? I always thought that was pretty slick by Bob. We're going back on Howie. I go, so what did he say? He goes, I'll put deal up here. I'll put this guy, put this. And so Quinn goes, okay, I think I like it. Horrific move by Bob Quinn. That's why he's no longer the GM there. This guy throws his little spidey webs out. Hey, what are you thinking? No. Every general manager, Kevin Colbert says, oh, he's notorious for this. Hey, man, I really like your guy. What do you think of him? No. What do you think of him? Yeah. He's on our team. We're paying him. We know what we think of him. Okay? Big Sills. Lisa Ann. Oh, Kim, will you stop? You obviously haven't watched film on Edwards. That's who you talking to. I'd like to hear you. Because he ain't better than Roquan Smith. He's not in his league. That guy don't make false steps. That guy is an all-pro player, Roquan. The Bears wanted 2 for him. Okay? Bears wanted 2. TJ Edwards is not Roquan Smith. Bro, he's not Roquan Smith. Any NFL general manager in his right mind would not take TJ Edwards over Roquan Smith. That's like somebody saying that they would take CeeDee Lamb over A.J. Brown. Nobody in their right mind would say that. But if you ask stupid-ass Dallas Cowboy fans, hey, I'll take CD over AJ. Of course you would. And that's why you get bounced in the opening round of every playoff year. Tank, little skits. I never realized I do. I'm gonna bring it up to my wife. Do I do little skits? I may do little skits for her too, and my kid. My kid, I have never had anybody give me more shit than my kid. Whew. I mean, I've killed less of men for that. And she just goes, hey, yeah. I'm like, my wife looks at me and she goes, pretty funny, isn't it? I go, I think so. Edwards does not suck. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that TJ Edwards sucks. Hey, I want to reset it again, what we did. Okay? We opened the program up by saying Howie Roseman had contacted these 4 players, or the availability of these 4 players on 3 different ball teams. And if you notice, they're all relationships. I don't know what the new general manager's relationship is with Howie. I'm not sure about that. But if you look at these relationships here, he knows all of these guys very well. As a matter of fact, Howie Roseman made a deal this past offseason with the 49ers and John Lynch. And by the way, John Lynch and I are dear friends. I contacted just to make sure that the kid Moore and Howie and him had contacted each other. It's pretty standard that everyone knows that these 4 guys are the people that he contacted. Now, there could be more. I'm not saying I have the holy grail here on what Howie's doing. I'm sure there's a ton of guys. Okay? I'm sure there's a ton of guys. Okay? But Roquan Smith, Howie contacted. Bears won a second, 2023. The Browns, Andrew Berry, obviously a relationship with Howie. The Browns, from what I'm told, won a 2023 third and a 5th for Kareem Hunt, who's $5.5 million right now. Tavarius Moore, safety, San Francisco. John Lynch wants a 5th rounder for him in 23. And Robert Quinn, as we said, the Bears wanted a 2023 third. I heard turned out to be a 4th. Okay? Ron says, Sills, what do you think the Eagles' next move would be? I think they should still try to look at Kareem Hunt. This safety kid is a safe. You know what? The kid Moore from the 49ers, you give up a 5th rounder for depth and you protect your safety position, you're not real deep there. Look at the dudes behind the guys you have starting right now. Okay? Chris goes, you're off every weekend? Yeah. Still can't work every day, even though I do work every day. Sills, what do you think of us signing Bill Roman out? I think you'd be in trouble. ESPN is saying Quinn is the final piece to a Super Bowl victory. I want to see, that is a 30,000 feet comment. You truly believe ESPN is covering the Eagles or covering the Cowboys? Okay? It's a 30,000-foot comment. Because if they had any intelligence, they would sit here and go like this. Well, what about the defensive coordinator? What about the defensive coordinator? If we have 2 first picks, why not trade the 2nd round pick for Roquan? It's a no-brainer. Sway. It's a cap issue. On top of that, does Roquan want to play in Philly? Maybe, Sway. See, Sway, the reason you're not making the move today for him, the Bears aren't. The Bears are going to get more value closer to the 1st than out. You feel me? They're going to get more as they get closer to November 1 next week. So they're going to go through the weekend. And plus, get this. What if they win? What if the Bears win and they beat the Cowboys? Are you really going to trade that guy away? You're still in it. The NFC blows. You're still in it. Now, you're not going anywhere. So that's another issue you have to do. Okay. Plus, you have to decide, are you going to build a team around? See, to me, I saw something on Monday night when they crushed the New England Patriots. If you're going to build that Bears team around Justin Fields, the way the Eagles are building that offense around Jalen, you might have something. So you might want to reevaluate what you're doing with draft picks. You get rid of Roquan, you take a step back. You might not be good, but you may add Will Anderson or you may add somebody. And the key to all this is rookie contracts. You know the reason, the number one reason that the Philadelphia Eagles are in the conversation this year is because Jalen Hurts' contract. I get the play, but he's more valuable to the Eagles right now because he makes $1.4 million. You guys understand that? His salary is what's allowing the movement. If you've got a $50 million or $45 million, that's why the Cowboys may want Roquan Smith or Bradley Chubb, but where's the room for it? Where's the money? Where are you restructuring? Dak's deal? You're going to give him more guaranteed when you're not even sure that guy's going to deliver the goods for you? Boy, I'll tell you what, Jerry Jones cut a check last year for $75 million for Dak Prescott. So he's going to guarantee more on a quarterback. Look at the position they're in. You can't give Zeke the money. He sucks. They're in a money issue. Dallas has spotty talent at offense, but they're more in trouble. I told you this. They're more in trouble money-wise than anything else. Cowboys don't have a lot of lateral movement with the cap money that they have. Okay? Cardell Patterson trade. Zach, I'll look into that. Leo Sills, Does Philly stack up against the Bills, and what move would tip the needle if we were to play them in the Super Bowl, who I predicted that would be the Super Bowl, Bills and Eagles? Here's the one thing you don't want to see: Kareem Hunt going to Buffalo. Now, I don't know if Cleveland would do that. Trade Kareem Hunt in the conference to make the Bills better. I mean, you're trying to catch the Bills and the Chiefs. Why would you push that out further? You put Kareem Hunt on the Bills, that's a scary thought, because then Josh Allen doesn't have to run like that. Steven goes, would you trade the 32nd and 3rd of 2023 for Kamara all night? Dude, you put Kamara on the Eagles, you're in the room with the Bills. Kamara puts you in the room with the Bills. Kareem Hunt knocks on the door with the Bills. By the way, I'll tell you this. Maybe you don't agree, but if you get Kareem Hunt, I think you beat the Chiefs. I think you're better than the Chiefs. If you get Kareem Hunt, I think you're knocking on the door with the Bills. And God forbid, Quinn turns out to put up 9 sacks. If Quinn gets 9 sacks, the Eagles will dominate everybody the rest of the way out. They may not lose a game. Who would have thunk that? Eagles might be playing destiny in history. Undefeated Philadelphia Eagles were 2 years ago, you won 4 ball games. You were under a shitty contract with Carson Wentz, and you had a second-round quarterback no one wanted in Philly. And now you're talking about undefeated, playing the Bills for the Super Bowl. I don't know about you, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, like Merrill says, that's quite a story. Something your owner might want to put a movie to. Don't jinx it, Sills. Fair enough. They're going to get beat every game out. Maybe that's what I should do. Don't talk about, hey, okay. I see that. Okay, so I see there's a lot of Italians, African Americans, Jewish folks. I see a lot. We're all superstitious. Mexicans, we're all superstitious. I get it. I'm very superstitious. Dude, the cowboy lid that was sent to me, seriously, I should show you where it is. I can't even see it anymore. After it messed up my Wi-Fi, Xander goes, helmet, Wi-Fi. What do you think, Sells? I'm like, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. Seals called NFC champs before the season. I did. Thank you, Jack. Toss that helmet into the Pacific Ocean. Trevor, listen to you, man. Seals, take that helmet. Xander goes like this, if I see that helmet on your Twitter page one more time. How many times are you going to post that thing, Sileo? Thank you, sports. Appreciate it. Davis is not a bust. He is not a bust. Jordan Davis is not a bust. He is not. He is a good football player, and he has proven that he can play in the middle. He just needs to up his conditioning. Ain't like college anymore, man, where you could take 15 plays off. This guy's like, hey, by the way, Jerome took plays off. Used to drive me nuts. Jerome Brown is a lot like Jordan Davis. They take plays off. But there's going to be plays in a game where you shake your head and go, Jesus Grimey, man. They make these sensational splash plays, and it shows you how good they are. Like me, watch this. I would outperform Jerome Brown every single game. I did. There wasn't a game that I ever played in where he had more tackles than me. But I'll tell you what, you watch him in a game, and he put these splash plays together, you shake your head and go, fuck, man, I can't do that. I can't do that. he just like he takes the guard and throws him on his head, and he catches me shaking his head, and he start laughing. He goes, "What?" I go, "You know what, man? I work my ass off all goddamn game, and you know what you're doing, man? You come up and you kill the guy. You have 3 sacks on 3 plays, and now the game's over." And he goes like this. He just start laughing. I'd be like, "Man, excuse me, God, taking the Lord's name in vain. I apologize. Jesus Christ, thank you, maniac. Don't worry, my aunt will remind me." Seals, what would you give up for Roquan? Jesse, I would totally give up a second rounder, what they want. Okay? I would totally give up a second rounder. Jack says Jerome Brown is one of the best DTs in NFL history. Absolute freak. And one of my dearest friends. Davis and Quinn together can make a scary sub package. God, look at the rotation that they have. Look at the rotation they have now. Davis could be our Warren Sapp. I don't think he has. Oh, well. He's as fast as Sapp. I think Warren's a better pass rusher. Warren had 16 and a half sacks one year at a defensive tackle position with the Bucks. Jordan Davis is never going to have 16 sacks. Okay? I mean, Sapp had like 16 and a half sacks, 13, 14 sacks. Okay? You've never had a defensive tackle in your entire history of your team ever get 14 and a half sacks. Reggie's an end. Reggie was spectacular. I think Reggie had 21 sacks one year in like 12 games when he came over from the USFL. Absolute freak show. Davis is bigger than Sapp. Warren's about 6'2", 305. And Jordan's like 6'6". Xander told me when he saw him at the Maxwell Awards that JAKIB puts on each and every single year, he couldn't believe the size of the guy. 6'6", 6'7". Was an absolute freak show. Yes, 215, Sapp and Donald, probably the best 3 techniques in NFL history. I know people will say the guy from Minnesota was a pretty good defensive technique, but he was never the defensive player of the year like Sapp and Donald were. Okay? Jerome in the Capitol comeback ended the game with a strip sack. I know, Steven. He's oh, yes. Yeah, he'd have been a Hall of Famer too. Absolutely. Jared Allen. No, not Jared Allen. I'm thinking of the defensive tackle that made it to the Hall of Fame. Michael Strahan was a good player. He wasn't Reggie, though. It's like get crazy here. There's only one Reggie White. There's only one Lawrence Taylor, and then it's everybody else. And stop with Aaron Donald being in Reggie's league. He's not. I saw Reggie White once pick up Chris Carter and throw him into Warren Moon. And Moon got sacked. He picked Chris Carter up, threw him when he was in Minnesota, threw him into Warren Moon. And Moon went down. Picked him off the ground, threw him into Warren Moon. You don't see dudes doing that ever. Reggie White had that, like, God strength. That he was a freak show, man. Aaron Donald is nowhere near Reggie White. That's a razor. 10 and a half sacks for a DT. That's a phenomenal year. Randy White was spectacular, too. Chris Dolman was great. No. I'm thinking of the defensive tackle, the guy, oh, God. What's his name? I played with his brother. With the Bucks. John Randall. That's it. John Randall. I played with Irv Randall, his brother, in Tampa. He was the captain of our defense. John Randall. Cortez was spectacular, too. Hey, guys, get this. So let me take a timeout. I've got my Big Sills weekly quarterback power rankings. Let me do that when we come back, all right? I want to show you something here. And there's no surprise, Jalen's moved up. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.